and gentlemen, and welcome back to the 8th annual Golden Geeks. I'm the Clown Prince of Award Show, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by...
I'm the curious Kirkland Patzer.
I'm the Golden Hardcaster, Dylan West.
I'm just Golden Taylor Field.
I'm curious, what are we going to do after you voted? Well, after you voted, you're going to listen to this episode. Oh, he's there, Barbosa! God, yeah, we definitely need that clip for the odd time. But yes, this is the Golden Geeks. If you're a longtime listener, you know it is. If not, you go, what is this Golden Geeks? I don't know. What we do is a couple months ago, we had the MCU one, we had the Golden Geeks just overall for every film. We are going to be doing the DC ones. We were just delayed on those, but we will... Before year end, we will put to end the DCEU. So that one, you'll get a bonus Golden Geeks. Maybe you'll get another bonus Golden Geeks. Who knows? Stay tuned. There's lots of people like the Golden Geeks, and that's what's happening here. But what happened was weeks ago, us as a committee decided the MCU categories and the overall films, just like everything else as far as like other award shows, best film, actor, director, scene, stuff like that. We have a couple other fun ones in there. And then what happens is, of course, we cast our votes, but that's only 4 votes. We let the patrons at any tier do that. So if you're listening like, oh, that sounds interesting, 1, subscribe for the Golden Geeks for DC and other things. And there's lots of other good things on Patreon. You get episodes ad free, get exclusive. We've just had, you can join the producer tier. We've had a bevy of retros picked by people. We just did Twilight, we just did Two Hands, we did Team Beach Movie, we're doing Hidalgo at the end of the month, and these are all people that have subscribed to the Patreon producer tier because they want us to talk about one thing, whether they love it, whether they hate it, they just want to hear our opinions. You can do that. So if there's one movie where you go, hey, probably never going to talk about, there's the time, and you get every single tier. But yeah, lots of good things. There's polls coming, so Patreon's the place to be, and you get that nice RSS feed free. If you like, I guess this comes out the same day as the Oscars, but if you're curious, I did a Trash Told You with some of our other patrons. That was tons of fun. That's another benefit. We do After Nines and call-in shows. That was tons of fun. I was joined by Maddie and April and Mike and Clay and S. Bubs. It was a good time there. And if you like movies, in just under a week, March 15th, Adrenochrome, that comes out. I can confirm it's going to be on our Patreon. It's a one-time purchase thing. It's a rental for 4 days, and then it's gone for at least a year because we're doing the festival circuit. And as we said before, lots of places don't allow them to be streaming. And we don't know if we'll do this with every film, but we're doing this because lots of people have asked, and they're excited. It's our first one, and it wouldn't be happening without each and every one of you. So we would appreciate, go over, throw us a nickel, and you get hopefully an entertaining movie. There'll be like a nice little... Just like the awards, anonymous survey. So if you just want to tell us it completely sucks ass, you can. And we won't know who it's you. But then I'll pay someone. We'll find out it's you. And I'll say, man, Maddie really let me down. But no. Go look out for that.
Call out there.
No, go look out for that. We worked hard on that, so it'll be fun. Just head down the links below. Side quests going on. Newscast. X-Men 97 is about to start. Lots of good things happening. Season of X. Season of X. 2 months. We just did the X-Men 3 draft, or like kind of fantasy game creation dream roster, right? That was tons of fun. It was slewing for that game. I have to say, Kirkland, with that red background, you look like you're just like morphed into the red carpet there.
I know. I was trying to. I feel like it's fun to match the background. I'm wearing a very red shirt, very poppy. So I was trying to match the same red so that I just look like the background. But I'm still figuring out this thing. I'm still calibrating the light.
Of course. Well, let's get into it. Let's do the MCU one. So we do these just based on the MCU route, because we started this a couple years ago. I think it was the year when all the Disney Plus shows came out, because there was so much stuff going, let's do this. And we'll probably still do it next year, maybe some variations and whatnot. But to start out, the MCU ones only have 3 categories, 3 nominees. Most anticipated. And I don't know who voted for what. These are all anonymous, so the patrons, if you guys want to chime in the Discord after when this goes, now you can reveal your vote. But most anticipated, Deadpool 3, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men 97, winner with 93.3% of the vote, Deadpool and Wolverine. So there was a sole vote for Spider-Man. Was that any of you guys?
Not me.
No.
I was a Deadpool voter.
Okay.
I was going to do Dune, and then I voted after I saw Dune, so I made it.
Well, this is the MCU one, so you couldn't have voted for Dune.
Okay.
He voted
I'm
anyways.
catching up. I still pick Dune. I still pick
Write
Dune.
a ballot, all this Dune.
That could be an interesting crossover. Chart that in the ChatGPT crossover episodes. If we
Dune and Marvel.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah, Taylor, you got to cook that up. So you got to spice it up sometimes. So.
Muad'Dib is just the main villain. He's like the Thanos level.
Oh, hang on. Kill Aaron. I'm going to sneeze.
Right? You all right? Oh,
yeah,
pulling up the survey because
I
I
thought you-
I
I
did
thought
the
you'd
MCU
mute it.
one.
Yeah, I like that for the mute. He's like, let me turn my camera off, but not the mic.
We'll still hear the sneeze.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys-
Sneezes
you guys can
right
hear the
into the
sneeze.
mic.
I don't want you to
Achoo.
see it.
Sorry. I was not thinking. It just came and I just thought it was going to be an ugly one. So,
Like
You're in
those
the headlights
videos.
moment with that
what
sneeze.
survey were you looking up? What is
Just
the
my
survey
I
to
did
do
my
this?
MCU votes a while ago, so I'm just checking. to
Okay,
make
it's
sure
not a
that
survey, but that's okay.
Yeah, I did my Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to remember. But.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
Deadpool 3 was mine.
Best scene nominees were Loki becomes the god of multiverse, Lila's death scene, and Rocket's near-death scene. In third place with 26%, Lila's death scene, and winning it, taking the best scene in the MCU with 40%. Rocket's near-death scene, 40%. Loki came in 33%. So very close category for best scene.
Wait, sorry,
there.
what won there? That was
Rocket's near death. Rocket's near death.
Okay.
Because if I reveal who number 2 is, it's anticlimactic. It's like you know who number 1. I'll try and do it better. But yes, Rocket, Loki, and then Lila. It was 40% to
Interesting.
33 to 26. I voted for Loki becomes a god. I love the whole build up, the score, the effects, everything. So that was my vote. So I was not in the winners category there. And all good scenes, but that was the one I went with.
I think I went Lila. So
I did Lila as well,
Yeah.
yes.
Loki.
So none of us voted for the
Wow,
winner.
Look at that.
That's
Goes to show
surprising.
how much power the patrons have. None
Yeah.
of us
Yeah.
voted correctly.
I think we should stop this next year. You know, I don't like.
Yeah.
We should all get 5 votes worth
Yeah.
of power.
A powerful GV shareholder vote. Best costume: Adam Warlock, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Captain Marvel, Princess Dress the Marvels, Loki Who Remains, finale Loki, not Loki with loafers, sorry Taylor, Loki Season 2. Last place with 20%, Captain Marvel's Princess Dress. And then the winner with 53.3%. The winner, Loki Who Remains, Loki becoming a god, Adam Warlock getting 26% of the vote. I went Loki. I love the look, the loafers, the big, huge cape, the horns though, just, but I love that. That just looked like comic book goodness. So yeah, that Loki was my vote for that one.
Nice.
I did Loki as well for the big horn boy.
I went with the dress.
Really? You fought for that.
Ooh.
You were the one that nominated it too,
I
right?
liked it.
So
I think I went
Yeah.
for Warlock on that one.
you went for Warlock.
Golden boy.
Warlock.
Best villain: High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Justin Hammer in What If Season 2, Strange Supreme in What If Season
I
2.
wonder who won this one.
You want to guess? What? Let's take some bids. Want to tell me? So I'll say High Evolutionary. He won by a
Yeah.
big chunk. What do you
Wow.
What do you think he won by?
Definitely 87 to 89, somewhere in that.
93%.
Okay, that's your turn now.
He's crunching numbers. He's like the guy in Dune, just like
Just
the
a fun
calculator guy
question,
with
but
his
we're gonna be
eyes.
here for an hour.
Oh, I'll probably say like 98%.
100%. Not a single vote against Mr. High Evolutionary. So, and yeah, I forgot to mention too. Thank you to some. I'll shout them out when we get around them. To there was some votes that were tied, like this one coming up, Best Supporting Actress. Third place was Michelle Pfeiffer, 33%. And then what happened is I did the vote, and then once that did voted, I recalculated the percentage of what it would have been. And then so in first place, Palm Clemente with 40%. So what happened was there was a tiebreaker between Palm and Zoe Saldana. Sorry, I forgot to say all the nominees. That was the tiebreaker. And then I took out obviously Michelle and said, okay, everyone re-vote for just these two. And Palm got the win over. So I was Michelle. I really liked her
too.
Ant-Man. Obviously, I know I might sound biased, but I just thought that she had the most juice in the performances there out of the ladies. But I like Palm too. So
Yeah,
Dylan, you
same.
were Michelle too? Yeah.
I threw my
Zoe.
vote to the Palm, actually, the winner.
Palm
So yeah, I thought she was fantastic in Guardians 3. I feel like coming off of the holiday special really helped too, because she was a lot more relevant in that viewing there. So just riding that wave into Guardians 3. She was I think a higher tier character than I already had her, and then it just elevated with the usage of her in that movie.
All right. Best Supporting Actor: Dave Bautista in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Ke Quan in Loki Season 2, along with Owen Wilson in Loki Season 2. This was one that ended up being tied as well.
Whoa.
Batista was 26.7%. So he was not the tiebreaker vote. So it went down to Owen Wilson and Ki-Hee Kwan. And Owen Wilson won 40% to 33%. So it ended up remaining pretty close, but Owen Wilson took it. That was my vote as well. I just thought that he had, again, just more to do in those and had better scenes. I think both those other guys could have won those awards if maybe a couple more scenes inputted. But yeah, I voted for Owen Wilson on that one.
Same.
I think I went for Obi personally.
I went
Obi?
with
How do you pronounce it again?
Obi.
Obi,
Or
that's my
Ouroboros.
name. Obi. Yeah.
I definitely was thinking between those two. Owen Wilson maybe had more, but every scene that Ki Kwan was in, I just was smiling and just loving up. So I think for that reason he won the vote over Mr. Wilson himself. But it was close.
It was, yeah. It came down to a tie. I was actually surprised it came down to a tie because I guess like Ki Kwan's in, like he's great, but I just thought with the amount of screen time, Owen would just take it, but he did not. Best Actor, Bradley Cooper, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Chris Pratt for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and Tom Hiddleston in Loki Season 2. Chris Pratt with a good old 6.7%. So he was not taking this award. The winner of this award with 60%, Bradley Cooper taking it. Tom Hiddleston at second place with 33%. So I'd have to look. I don't know if we've ever had a voice actor win any of these. Also, I don't think a main Golden Geese, but I don't know. I'd have to go back if maybe Strange Supreme won something in the original What If season, but it's more of a rarity that they win. I still didn't vote that way. I thought Cooper did great. I did vote for Tom Hiddleston. I thought he was outstanding this season once again. But Bradley Cooper has to do a lot with that voice. But yeah, so Bradley Cooper getting the big win there.
Very historic moment. Yeah, that was my vote as well.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Cool.
I actually don't remember what I put for this one.
Pratt?
it was so split amongst the Pratster and Hiddleston for me. Actually, I was not looking at the winner on my vote here, but congratulations to Mr. Cooper. Come collect your reward.
Yep.
I went God of Mischief.
Oh, you went got him. I thought you said I went and got him some mischief.
I'm feeling mischief right now.
I thought you said I went and got a mischief. I'm like, what does that mean? You just give him a box of
World
mischief.
news. World news.
Yeah.
World news.
Best Actress, Brie Larson, The Marvels, Haley Atwell, What If Season 2, and Amon Vellani, What If Season, or sorry, The Marvels as well. Pretty much just a slaughtering here by Amon with 78.6%. I'm not going to build this up. She kind of had them all. But Haley Atwell, 7%, and then Brie Larson with 14%. So there's a couple other people that threw out some votes there. But Amon, that was mine. It was just kind of undeniable. I'm not saying she saved the movie because I don't think the movie's like awful, but the movie would not be as good if she was not in it. So
My vote as well.
Amon was my vote.
Mine too.
yep, there you go.
Clean sweep.
Finally, best project in the MCU for 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, that's it.
Volume
Guardians
3.
of the Galaxy of the Volume 3. Loki Season 2 and What If Season 2. What If Season 2 received 0 votes, so no love there. And the winner was 78.6%, just like with Amon's vote. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Loki 21.4%. Yeah, that's where I went as well. I loved Loki Season 2. I had some issues with it. It's not as strong as Season 1, but I just couldn't put it over Guardians. I thought it was just kind of a easy vote, I guess I'd say, for me. So
Easy vote for me, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it was easy.
I had Loki. Season 2.
So not easy for you because the winner.
No.
Yeah. Or was it
sleep
easy?
at
Was
night.
it easy to throw out? Like, was there
I
some
couldn't
struggle with
sleep at
you
night.
between the two, or was it like an easy Loki one?
I think it was more easy Loki, to be honest, just because I feel like I need to go back and rewatch Guardians. I should have done that, but I didn't.
That's fair. So your vote's non-valid. Most anticipated. So this is what Kirkland was probably thinking of here. Alien Romulus, Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Joker, Folie à Deux, and Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim. This was the one probably you're thinking, right? You weren't sure between
Sounds
Deadpool
familiar,
2.
yes.
Yeah.
I remember these.
Sharing the bottom tier is Alien Romulus and Lord of the Rings tied. So for 5 or 4 at 5.9%. So getting some love out there, but not too much. And then again, tied for second and third is Doom Part 2, and Joker with Deadpool taking the win. That was mine. Lots of good ones on here. Deadpool with a whole 52.9. That one didn't surprise me. I thought that's the way it was going to go, but yeah, that's what I went with.
I'm curious who went Alien and Lord of the Rings. Like who at all who went for that?
Taylor, were you Alien vote?
I was Deadpool. I'm really pumped at that.
What you doing down there?
Kirkland, were you,
Oh
were
yeah,
you
it
a
looks
Lord of
weird.
the
I'm
Rings
itching
guy?
my leg.
You had to be a Dune guy.
I need leg cream.
I was not a Dune guy because I made these votes after I'd seen Dune.
Right. So you said that.
I put my vote on Deadpool. It's like, wait a minute.
Whoever
Did I
voted
say
Lord
this?
of the Rings, let us know.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious.
More hype than all these other ones. That's
Could have been Tyler.
Yeah,
Patreon
Patreon
Tyler, T Money.
Yeah.
What about
I pre-
Alien? Who do you think did that?
Like that's a
April.
Clay pick.
Clay, I don't know. I think Clay was pretty excited for Dune. I would say.
Yeah, I would guess April maybe. That's the most horror one on there, and I
Yeah,
feel like
fair.
that
Yeah,
April probably did. Again, Discord, let us know when you listen to this. This one, best scene: Bird's Eye View, Apartment Attack, John Wick Chapter 4, Boat Chase, Godzilla -1, Cabin Attack, Opening Title Card, and Evil Dead Rise, Escaping the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and Staircase Battle, John Wick. This was all very, very close. The percentages here are 13, 20, 20, 20, and 26. This is one we had to do a tiebreaker on. The only one that was non-including the tiebreaker was Evil Dead. That was the 13.3, but all the other four were tied at one point.
Wow.
That's cool.
So then all tied for 4th place, 3rd place, and 2nd place are the Staircase Battle, the Boat Chase, and Escaping the Spider Society, with the Bird's Eye View taking the win with
Wow,
26.7. That's the one I did. It was interesting watching this voting because the tiebreakers, it was looking like Spider Society, and I was really like, oh, I'm not a fan of this choice. There's a couple of those, but then it all came together. So yeah, Bird's Eye View taking it. That to me, I that's just like a masterful scene. Just
Yeah.
love that one. So that was my vote for Bird's Eye View.
I went Staircase.
The Staircase,
It
yeah.
was it wasn't a hard decision. I'm gonna be honest. It was
Yeah.
it was an easy decision for me.
It was close. It was probably a couple points, a couple of votes away from 6% away from it going that way to the
Yeah.
Bird's Eye View. So
This one was tricky for me between the two John Wicks and the Across the Spider-Verse scene. The Spider-Verse one was the first to drop when I was comparing all three, just because that wasn't my favorite scene from that movie. So I was like, okay, I'll give that one away. And then Bird's Eye View is the one that I ended up voting for. Just really gets me pumped up with the music and the aerial shots. And I feel like the behind the scenes of that scene really lifted it up too, just how they actually like did it, like the aerial shots, make it look like all one shot. Yeah, just really masterclass.
Yeah, it was Bird's Eye for me. I was torn with this one because I love that staircase when you get that score kicking in. Like,
What's it
I
call
can't do
again?
it, but- Justice Genesis. the
Justice
John Wick-
Genesis.
John Wick
Nice,
version.
yeah.
Great tune.
you become a
yeah,
rapper.
like,
that should be your name.
yeah. Boat chase
John Wick
is
remix.
fantastic, but it really just came down to the John Wick scenes, and yeah, there's that bird's eye view. That was gorgeous.
Mr. Wick.
Best visuals. The nominees were Barbie, Boy and the Heron, Poor Things, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. Getting 0% of the vote. You know,
Oh,
wasted spot. You know, Barbie, 5.9%.
wasted
Boy,
vote.
boy, at least it got some votes. You know, got some. It was on the board. Boy and the Heron, 17.6%, and then the winner,
Nice.
52.9. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Poor Things with 23.5. So everything else took up the middle, and then Spider-Man took up the middle, and then some. So
Yeah. Not too surprising, I guess.
yeah, that's what I went with too. It's just like, I don't know, it's kind of the obvious one. I guess I could have gone Poor Things, but I just think about all those animators and all that work they're doing, and there's just some feats they pull off. So I went Across the Spider-Verse. But Dylan, I don't think you did. Did you do the
I went Poor
Poor
Things.
Things? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was just so unique visually for me.
Mhm.
Did some weird stuff with some camera angles, some weird CGI scenes and whatnot. It was very unique. Whereas I think Spider-Verse was like, this is great, but I've seen this exact style done before in the first one, so I guess it wasn't as powerful for me the second time around.
Mhm.
I went Spider-Verse. Yeah, I think this category for me was actually between Boy and the Heron and Spider-Verse. But again, with the last one, how like the behind the scenes kind of lifted it. Same thing for this one when I was learning how they actually did the animation for Spider-Punk. And how they,
Spider-Punk
like,
alone is why I
Yeah.
voted for it. Yeah.
just like they made him like distinctly like out of frame, whereas like all the other animation is just like synchronized, like he is out of frame because, you know, he goes against the grain, and I just I love those details and love that movie.
Yeah, with Spider-Verse, it's just going to the different multiverses, all that stuff, just everything. It's visually it's such a treat just to go in to see that level of animation. So,
Best score and soundtrack: Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse, Super Mario Bros. Taylor, I gotta ask before we reveal all these: were you the sole vote for Super Mario Bros?
what did I put here? No, I did
Okay.
not do that one.
So it got one vote. So it got on there. It got some. I
I
thought
believe that
for
was me, sir.
Okay, so I was
What are you
gonna
guys
say,
doing?
you know, it's one of us here. Again, you know, and
Not a wasted
then
vote.
what was I gonna say? Surprisingly, nothing for Poor Things, which I was shocked because I think that score is fantastic, but no one came out for that one. And then
Not even you.
Oppenheimer.
You
Not
like
even-
think it's fantastic.
I do, but I didn't vote for that one. I voted for the winner, which was Barbie, with 41.2%. So this one went to a tiebreaker as well between Spider-Verse and Barbie, and then Barbie took the tiebreaker. It was pretty close, but like Barbie still had it. But I guess I just went with. I like the Cross the Spider. The score is great in the soundtrack, but that Barbie thing is just, I love that they've made a bunch of original songs. They're for specific scenes, character beats. But yeah, Barbie ended up with 41.2% of the vote. Spider-Man 29.4%, Oppenheimer 23.5%, Mario with 5.9%, and then Poor Things with Zippo nada. So.
I was right there with you on Barbie for the same reasons, actually. I feel like just the soundtrack was the one that I listened to the most out of all of these, and just thinking about how they impacted certain scenes was enough to get my vote.
Yeah, I snuck in Spider-Verse.
You snuck it in.
Metro!
Yeah.
Big Metro fan.
Metro!
Fucking Metro. Please don't do Spider-Verse 3. Let's get someone else there, you know? Best villains, very close. Didn't end up going to a tiebreaker, but very close. Godzilla -1, L from Evil Dead, High Evolutionary, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marquise, John Wick, and Spider-Man 2099 Across the Spider-Verse, who had, at last place, 6.3%.
Ooh, well
The
deserved.
the Marquis and L both shared 12.5 to share the third and fourth slot. And the winner with 37.5%, the High Evolutionary.
Okay.
Godzilla right behind it with 31.3.
Wow.
31.3. So it was very
Surprise.
close. Yeah. This was a tough one for me. I ended up voting for Godzilla, so didn't get it. I just loved what they did with that character, and just the presence. And I just, for the first time in a long time, I actually was scared of Godzilla again, and not just like, oh, just some big CGI boring monster now. But I can see why Evolutionary takes the win, and that happens a few times. But yeah, winning both MCU villain and Golden Geeks villain. But what about you guys?
Man, I can't. I either did high Evo or L for the villain here, and I can't remember which one I did. You know, it's one of those things where I want to go into these different votes, just individually, but I can't. You know, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I voted for him here, High Evolutionary in the MCU one. I kind of vote for someone different, so I can't remember where I actually landed on it by the end of the day.
I went with Miss L here, actually. It was a pretty tricky category across the board. I felt like I really could have gave my vote to each and every one of them here.
Good year for villains. Some years we have like maybe the top two, and the rest were kind of like, it's all right. But this year I feel like all of them had
Different
moments.
types, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like with L, though, that was like the one character that like, it's basically nightmare inducing. Like just such a terrifying image, and the way that the actress was just able to pull off what she did with that character was truly terrifying. I was terrified from the trailer, and the movie was just like 10 times scarier. So yeah, shouts out to that pick.
Yeah, I was there for L. The shit she was doing was just absolutely scary, nightmare fuel.
Nightmare Fuel. Speaking of Nightmare Fuel, best horror film nominees: Evil Dead Rise, Last Voyage of the Demeter, Saw X, and Talk to Me, and Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving got 0 votes, so we didn't get any
That was
there.
that was a tiebreaker to even get in there too. Right?
Yeah, that was between that and No One Will Save You. So that was the last one got in there. And then Saw and Last Voyage of Demeter shared the third and fourth one at a 7.1%. And then the winner of this is Evil Dead Rise with 57.1. So it kind of, I won't say ran away with it, but it was stronger than I thought it was going to be. Talk to Me getting a 28.6. Evil Dead Rise was my vote. That's, I think, in my top 10 for last year. If not, it was for a long time. I gave that a 10, so this one was an easy one for me. Even though love Talk to Me, love Saw X, Demeter was great. Really enjoyed Thanksgiving. Again, like the villain thing, I really appreciate and enjoy all these movies, but Evil Dead got my final pick there.
I went Talk to Me on this one. Yeah, just a movie that still sticks with me. I mean, Evil Dead does as well. I think overall I had some issues with that one, whereas Talk to Me was just a solid horror flick from start to finish. So that got my vote.
Yeah, I did Evil Dead here. That was my number 8 film on my last year ranking.
He's trying to up me,
Yeah.
you know. It's like,
I mean,
love
you
that
saw
Saw.
like quadruple the amount of movies I've seen, so in scale, it's probably.
that's fair.
I love to see that Saw got. Was it just 1 vote or 2 votes? What was it? Probably just one, maybe 1 or 2.
Got a couple there. What was it? Got a couple there. 7.1%.
So I love to see
Maddie
that.
and somebody. Saw guy I get, you know. What about you, Taylor?
Isn't S Bubs Saw guy? Or I guess
Yeah,
he's
he
Evil
could
Dead.
More of an
guy
Evil Dead
too.
guy though, right?
That's
Yeah,
true,
that's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, I'm Evil Dead.
Evil
That's
Dead.
the winner for me.
Best Supporting Actress. This was another one. Went to the Patreon tiebreaker. The nominees, though, at first were Ali Sutherland in Evil Dead Rise, Alison Oliver in Saltburn, Emily Blunt in Oppenheimer, Rina Sawayama in John Wick Chapter 4, and Rosamund Pike in Saltburn. Alison Oliver from Saltburn got 0 votes. I guess we like that performance more than other people. So, you know, I'm happy she was on the board, though. In fourth place,
Wait. 0 votes?
yeah, 0 votes, no percentage, 0%.
Is she really on the board at that point?
Well, she's on the nominee vote. You know, she's like, she always
You were
when
like,
people.
Mario's dead to me at 0 votes. Like, it's not even worth our time. Now you're out here defending out. Come on.
Yeah,
Soften
Where's
the
your
blow.
vote, Travis? Huh?
First time nominee, Allison Oliver.
you guys can nominate Mario too. You know, she had the one chance. You know, I'll take Allison over Super Mario Bros. Any day. You know, Rena for
True
John
with your
Wick
vote.
at 6.3 at the 4th slot, and then the 3rd slot was Emily Blunt with 25%.
Okay.
So it came down to Ali Sutherland and Rosamund Pike, and this was what did it end up being the final? The final tie vote. So I put it all together. The tie vote was 53 to 47%. So it was really close. So then overall, Ali Sutherland takes it with 37.5%, and then 31% for Rosamund Pike. So it was really close. I was kind of surprised because I love Rosamund Pike. I thought about it, but Ali, I think maybe because I didn't vote for her for villain, I voted for Godzilla. I voted for her here, and I just think like what she has to do with her body and how worked up she gets. I was like, I got to put her over Rosamund Pike and the others, so I voted for Elle. I thought she was great there.
I think in hindsight, now that I'm seeing this, I think I went Ali Sutherland here and then High Evo for villain. I think it's all connecting in my brain. Yeah.
I did Miss Pike, Rosamund Pike here. I loved her in
Always looking for attention,
Saltburn.
Kirkland is.
Yeah.
Do
I don't
anything
know.
for attention.
I find ugliness just the worst thing in the world. No, I just found her. I found her so fun, and
Yeah.
she definitely just hit many different ranges of emotion in that film. But like, really, just stuck that like better than you, like higher society type individual. But yet, like, she has the motherly vibes to her. Like, she just had it all. And Rosamund Pike is she's a phenomenal actress. Big fan. And plus, I had the L vote for horror villain, so it was probably that similar thing where I'm like, I could put her here, but I already voted for her, so let's give it to Rosamund.
I did Ali Sutherland.
Oh, okay. For a second, I thought he was talking about the Saltburn girl. I was like, no, no one
There's
voted
0
for her.
votes.
Yeah. And out of all the characters in Saltburn, that's who you're voting for? All right. Best Supporting Actor: Donnie Yen in John Wick, Jacob Elordi in Saltburn, Ole, Mark Wahlberg in Poor Things, William Dafoe in Poor Things, Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer. Somehow, very surprising, should not be in the Mario category, but William Dafoe, 0 votes for Poor Things.
Wow.
I know he's like understated on it much, but I thought somebody would give him something. Like I thought about it, but didn't happen. Fourth place is Donnie Yen with 6.3. Third place is Jacob Elordi with 18.8%, and the winner with 43.8%. Robert Downey Jr. in Oppenheimer, Mark Ruffalo with 31.3%. I was stuck between those two because Ruffalo's so goddamn good, but I went with Oppenheimer. I had voted, and then me and Emily watched Oppenheimer, and I was like, oh, I'm happy with this because Ruffalo is good, but at the same time, it is just like there's lots of the dialogue too that it gets to be very funny. Where Downey, it's like, oh, I've never seen him do this before, so that's why I was happy with what I voted. But if it wasn't Downey, it would have been Ruffalo because I love Ruffalo in that movie. So gonna watch it again this weekend. I'm excited. What are you guys? What are you chops?
This chap went with the winner, RDJ. I think it's such a different performance than I've seen him do in the past. But he also he kills it in those scenes, but he also shows like a lot of different sides of that character. Not that I know that character from real life, but like he's
big Strauss fan. You're
big
talking about
Strauss
all the
fan,
time.
yeah. No, but like he's like on his back heels at points. He's comforting and like trying to be a friend. He's curious at different situations. I just think that he kind of covers a lot of different bases that normally you don't get to do in certain acting roles, and he totally killed it. So yeah, that was my vote there.
I gotta rewatch Oppenheimer. I should do that at some
It's
point.
on Prime. If you got Prime, do it right now.
Primeless.
it up.
I'll have to wait
Okay.
till another day. I think I went with my Lord and Savior here, Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. Yeah,
Yeah.
good pick.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah, I bet you did. What about you, Tate? I'm surprised Tate did not like. I guess you were Ruffle, right? You had to be.
I was, Marky Mark. It's those scenes of him like in the background when Emma Stone is walking. Like, there's so many good moments with him. Like, he's just like, what did he say? Like, get this fucking dog away from me, or what is he?
I'll murder your fucking dog. I'll punch it right in his face.
He's so good.
What a film.
Yeah. Best actor: Barry Keoghan for Saltburn, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, Ryan Sasuke Kamiki for Godzilla -1, and Joaquin Phoenix for Beau is Afraid. No one gave any points for Kamiki for Godzilla -1, which sucks. I hope I see him again here. He gave a very great understated performance, but no votes there. Ryan Gosling and Joaquin sharing the third and fourth slot with 5.9%. And every time I was checking in these votes, it was a dead heat between Barry and Killigan's Island. I'll kill again, won't you? But the winner with 47.1%. Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. Barry with 41.2, so probably a couple votes, and it might have swung that way. It was tough because Barry's tons of fun, but I went with Cillian. It's just I love him in Oppenheimer, man. He again, as fun as Barry is for me in that movie, just Cillian has to do so much to carry that movie, and there's so much of him. It's 3 hours of Cillian Murphy, tons of dialogue, and so I voted for him there. So.
God damn, I cannot remember. I'm such a mess over here. I think I might have done Joaquin Phoenix, to be honest.
That's a great choice. Yeah.
I was probably maybe a bit of recency. I mean, I watched Saltburn recently too, but I don't know. I put on some
Bet you
Beau
did.
is Afraid recently, and what a fucking movie that is. So he has to do some crazy acting in that one. So, but I could have done Cillian Murphy. I don't even who even knows anymore.
Yeah. Good category. Lots of strong performances again.
definitely.
This one was really tough between the Keegster and the Killster for me.
Don't.
Uh,
I'll take the Killster. I don't know if we call him the Keegster.
The Keegster.
Yeah, the Keegster.
Call him the Murphy. If you want.
I ended up going with Barry himself here, though, and reason being was I mean, he was like, it's like even my arguments. I feel like I could do a winning argument for either of these chaps. I mean, Killian is the one that won the whole damn thing, and like Travis was laying out, like that's a long movie of mostly him just talking and like dialoguing. So like performance of his life right there. But for Barry, I just feel like he shows a lot of like
he does show a lot of.
he shows a lot in the movie. I'm thinking about the movie, like just the moments when he's seems like just a little wimp and like really out of his place, but then like you think about like what happens later on in the film, avoiding spoilers for anyone that hasn't listened to it. But I just feel like he really pulled an amazing performance there, and I mean he always brings a great performance. I feel like he's been slowly just jumping up there on my radar, and you know, that one showing it all, really he's on my radar now.
Plus, I feel like I'm not gonna say, like, I'm not gonna set him up for failure, but you know, in a couple of years he's gonna probably play the Joker in a big movie. I feel like we'll be talking about him again in the Golden Geeks and stuff. Probably stuff in general, but I just feel like whenever that year comes out, that film category is gonna be his. It's almost like an unfair thing. It's like you got Barry Keoghan coming off Saltburn, he's gonna play the Joker. Yeah. What about you,
Geekster
Taylor?
will be back.
Not the Geekster. You had to be Killian, right? You were a Oppenheimer guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it's been a while since I had really seen him in anything too. So
Peaky Blinders,
just last
show for
year.
you.
I haven't watched Peaky Blinders yet. So
but just
Telling
last
you,
year,
dude.
Quiet Place, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, part 2. Yeah, that's right.
Or was it 2021? We did this before, right?
It was. I think
9 years ago.
2020. Never mind.
they
3 years.
they delayed
ago.
it, right? I remember they delayed that in Milan because they were coming out, and then finally, like,
What that and what?
Milan.
Oh
remember?
yeah, big GeekVerse review there, Milan. Yeah. You just said it like it was so like they're together. Like, oh yeah, I remember when
Well,
we
I think
see
they were-
Milan?
Barbenheimer, same thing.
They were releasing them, I think, like
Milan
within
of a
the
place.
same month, I think, originally. But then they delayed it because we went to see it at the drive-in. I remember
We
'cause they
did,
did the double feature, right? So
2020, that's blown my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Again, COVID's always rocked the space-time continuum. It's just, ugh. Best Actress, Emma Stone for Poor Things, Iman Vellani for The Marvels, Jennifer Lawrence, No Hard Feelings, Margot Robbie and Barbie, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. What is it? Jennifer Lawrence and Phoebe Waller-Bridge getting Zippo votes. Nothing,
Whoa.
no love. So that's tough. Especially like I didn't vote for her, so it's tough. It's tough for Jennifer Lawrence. So we don't have much comedy in there, and you know, but I guess there might be one. But
She's nominated.
yeah, she's on the board, right? But I'll just say it here, the winner with the biggest percentage out of all the awards, 60% for Emma Stone for Poor Things.
Let's go.
Mon had 13.3, and then Margot Robbie had 26.7. This is one of those. It's just like inevitable. It's Thanos, where like I vote for, it, but I just thought like I'm happy other people vote for other things, but it's just like Stone's so good in that movie, I didn't see
I'm
it.
surprised it's not closer though, just because I feel like still a lot of people haven't seen Poor Things, or it hasn't even been like streaming
Yeah,
easily and whatnot. So I'm surprised by that, to be honest.
yeah, it is streaming now, people. So if you want to see, I know Clay, he literally watched it the night of the voting cutoff and stuff. So maybe we had some people
that'll
doing
do
that.
it. Yeah.
I've just seen that right before. But what about you, Dylan? What was your vote?
Oh, easy Emma Stone.
Yeah.
I don't think there's an easier vote for me in this whole damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of them, you really look at these 5 options. Even though we did the nominees, it's like weeks later when we're actually doing the voting, it's like, man, I don't even know what I'm going to do here. But that one,
Yeah.
click and go. Click and go.
I was also a click and go for the stoned one, Mrs. Emma. I thought
What
she was
about your
fantastic.
your
Stone won the
fucking
Keekster.
She showed it all, just like the Keekster.
It's
and,
true.
Sure, he's voting.
That's how you based your voting off this year.
Yeah.
they really went for it.
If Killian would have showed his full cock in that chair,
About
if he moved his
He
his
showed
leg,
90%, but it wasn't enough for my vote.
Yeah.
But I guess it's the rest for everyone else.
What about you, Taylorfield?
yeah, I'm with you guys on there. It was quite a performance.
Yeah, it's interesting because if this happens and some other stuff, last year we had like Hee Kwan, Michelle Yeoh, and then Best Picture for our winners, and the Oscars won that, so we had 3 of the same. We could, if she wins, we could have some of the same. So we got a lot of crossover potentially. It's the awards body. They just see us like, oh, these guys know what they're talking about, you know. Best film, which was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. The pie charts kind of interesting here. But John Wick Chapter 4, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Saltburn, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse and John Wick Chapter 4 tied for 4th and 5th with 12.5% of the vote.
Oh wow.
Poor Things with 18.8% of the vote. And the winner, 31 point. Oh, look at his face. Look at his face. He's like realizing, oh man, what has happened? What have these people voted? What has won Best Film of the Year? Well, Taylor, you can rest easy because it is Oppenheimer at 31.3%. Saltburn with 25%.
You were baiting me there more than you thought. You were baiting Taylor, but it actually baited me.
Because Taylor, I just knew he was like so worried. And I don't know. I would love to next after night ask people because I don't know, I guess, because I know you have it number one, Maddie. And I guess like someone like myself, like Saltburn and my Letterboxd rating, I have it as number one. It's my favorite movie, but like I voted for Oppenheimer as like the best of like last year. Like I didn't vote for the Batman, I voted for Everything Everywhere. So that's where I'd be curious of how many people did that, or if we just had a split in the Discord and there was more Oppie than Saltburn. Because Saltburn, there's a lot of our voter body that have that as the number one. So, but yeah, very close. Obviously, it was in second place in 25 to 31, like only 6% difference. So it was a swing. But yeah, I went with Oppenheimer. I just wanted to, just because like I felt like we've been not. This wasn't the only reason because Oppenheimer I think is the best movie of the year. But it's just like I'm just happy to get Nolan for us on the Golden Goose board for me because I was just like, I don't know what's going to happen again. We thought it might happen with Tenet. That didn't happen at all. It didn't happen with Dunkirk, you know? So I was like, oh, this might never happen. But yeah, and I also just think for me it was the best film, but I love Saltburn. That's still my favorite. But Dylan, it sounds like you went with the Burning.
Oh, I think I went Poor Things, but I was
okay.
kind of pulling for Saltburn. I mean, I love Oppenheimer too. I don't know. I guess I'm just looking at this and like, I don't think Saltburn won anything, right?
No, they didn't.
That's crazy to me that it didn't take one category.
I bet if we took out Mario and score and soundtrack and we had Saltburn in there like I was pitching, that would have got the win. Murder on the Dance Floor, everybody would have, everyone would have done it. But
Murder on the Dance Floor, yeah. No, it's a strong year. I don't know. It feels weird to me. I wouldn't like think of it as like one of my top passion years, but then like any of those top four are all amazing movies that I would have been happy to see win. And I guess Saltburn, it would have been weird if it won this and nothing else. That would have seemed a bit strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think at the end of the day, Poor Things is my movie of the year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kirkham, what about you?
This is an interesting one because my two in-betweeners were John Wick and Spider-Man, actually.
Oh, yeah, the two bottoms.
The two bottom ones.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I put my vote for John Wick, which like I feel like it flip-flops depending on the day because my number one movie of the year last year was Spider-Man. So like I guess it was just the mood I was in. I'm like John Wick's got it, and I was somewhat surprised by the overalls. Like I didn't think my two picks there were gonna win it, but I thought honestly I thought it was gonna be between Saltburn and Poor Things, but the bomb dropped and it won.
I was again surprised by Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse because that obviously Spider-Verse is one, and I forgot to try and do my tallies as far as like who's won before, but Spider-Verse had won in 2018, so it's like a defending champ. And again, I just felt like a lot. When that movie hit in our Discord, I felt like almost everybody was unanimously picking that over the first one. So I thought it was. I didn't know if anything was going to win, but I thought it was going to do better in voting come time to it. But it didn't. You know.
We definitely haven't had a Nolan movie win because none of them in the GeekVerse.ca have really hit, right? Because it's been Dunkirk and Tenet.
So yeah, it's never been nominated. The only time it has won though is when we did our 2010 decade Golden Geeks. Inception did win there,
right.
So that did get it. But yeah, for the normal regular year ones, no, Nolan's never been nominated even. So
yeah,
maybe
First
they have
time
the same
nominee,
feeling.
first
certain
time winner.
categories, but not best film.
Comes back to
Hopefully,
trophy.
hopefully it comes back strong, and the next one is also in this caliber.
Oh, I'm so curious to see what he does next. I just can't wait. I don't know if it's gonna be sci-fi. I don't know if this guy has the hunger and he's just gonna
the
make
top name on the cast.
I would love it to be Bale because I just feel like it's been
yeah?
a while because like they did the Batman movies and Prestige, and if it's not Bale, then I'd actually want Jackman. Like I want one of the Prestige boys back with him because I'm just kind of like, especially Jackman. He's so good in Prestige. I'm kind of bummed that he's never been in anything. Like, I feel like Jackman could have fit somewhere in Oppenheimer. You know, like he could have been one of those characters. So
Secretary of State kind of guy.
yeah, I'm not saying Jackman has to be the guy, but I'm saying like I would love him to be in the top 4 cast.
Does
so.
Nolan have Disney money to get Jackman back in there?
No, but the good thing is most of Nolan's actors, they take a pay cut when they do Oppenheimer. Like when you look at the Oppenheimer budget, it's lower than a lot of other movies because these actors don't do the full amount because they just want to work with Nolan. It's the same thing as Denis. Like that's why Dune does not cost a bucket's amount of money because they can spend on the effects, and actors are taking pay cuts because they just want to work with Denis, right? So it's like, I think
I'd work for free. Fuck it.
Well, that's why. Like Florence Pugh said the same. That's why with Florence Pugh, everybody was like, "Oh, why are you the princess? It's so small." And she said, like, even the director apologized. She's like, "I just want to be included." So like, I think a lot of those people are pretty much not working for free, but like the rate they're usually getting.
Piece.
Yeah, the rate they're usually getting is not what they're doing for this. But Taylor, you haven't revealed. Who did you vote for here? Oh, I know who you voted for. Yeah. I feel like Taylor, you'd have to go back.
I wish
Is that
everyone you
Oppenheimer?
revealed with a sound effect. That would have been
We'll do that next year. No, I guess there's a couple. I forgot. I guess there's probably like Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and maybe a couple. But I feel like there was a run of a couple years where your favorite movie was nowhere either even on the board or winning. So it must feel good to have your favorite movie year win because. How come did I have you on the hook there? I think it was Saltburn there for a second.
Yeah, me on the hook. I mean, the hairs of my neck definitely stood up. So, but yeah, it's it feels good. It feels good. The movie it completely caught me off guard as being my favorite of the year. I can't remember what I had. Like I had John Wick there for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Tetris was there. There were a few others that were there for a little bit in that slot.
Gran
but then
Turismo, probably.
Gran
somewhere.
Turismo. Shout out to Gran
then
Turismo.
ended up seeing Oppenheimer and just man, I couldn't believe it, and it was great. I think I put it on like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. and I was just
You're just sitting butt ass naked.
He just got back
Like
from a
killing-
horse ride.
You're sitting butt ass naked, like Cillian Murphy, just smoking a cigarette in your living room watching.
with
Oppenheimer.
Satine over there. Another bottle.
oh god.
Time for you to watch Oppenheimer. No, I was the same as you. I had John Wick was my favorite movie until Barbenheimer weekend because that was Oppenheimer and Barbie, and that was now 1 and 2, and then all of Saltburn came later. But for at least half the year, I was like, man, I'm voting John Wick as
same.
my winner, and it didn't happen. But still shut John Wick. John Wick, fantastic film and like really good, and says something because they weren't on the other ones. I don't think any of the other three would have been on our other ones because me and Dylan weren't as hot as them. I love the first one, but even then, I don't know. Like, let me see, John Wick 1. When did John Wick 1 come out? 2000. Oh no, I'm like 2023. No, 2014. So we wouldn't have been doing that. So, and me and Dylan wouldn't have been on ban for the second and third. So,
Yeah, I think we were all having John Wick at some point in the year.
yeah.
It wasn't until because I watched Saltburn over Christmas, I think, and then Poor Things sometime in January. So it was really right just at the end of the year, even into the new year of 2024 is when my votes switched around, I think, because I loved Oppenheimer. I think I was probably still on John Wick up until Saltburn and Poor Things. So
Yeah.
interesting stuff.
Yeah, it was a good year. Like I said, it's funny. Last year, I think we talked about 2022 was like the grand year, and I feel like the first half this year was like good, but not as strong. And then I think the back half really kicked up. But the first half, I remember like, oh, it's no 2022. It's not that for me because 2022, I think I have like 20 movies that are like 5 out of 5 stars. Like it was just like banger after banger. But yeah, it's interesting. What do you think? One more year here from now to close off. What do you think I won't say anything yet. I don't want to spoil my thoughts, but I feel like there's my
Strong start to the year, we'll say.
Yes.
Even though we're already in March.
yeah. Well, okay. Here, this will ask because I think we've done this before. I think there's a stat. I think that I could be wrong. I'd have to go back as last year's stats. I'd have to check. So forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a stat that when we do most anticipated, we've only had a maximum of 2 ever make it to the best picture. Like, let me just pull up quickly.
From anticipated to
Yes.
the best film nominees?
Yeah, let me pull.
Or do you mean actually won?
No, like like yeah, we had our
Only
most.
two from anticipated to nominees. Would
I
be
think so.
surprising.
Let me look at last year. So last year we had Super Mario Bros, Dune, so that didn't count. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Bo is Afraid. So we only had
wow.
we had one. I imagine Dune could have been there if it wasn't delayed, but I think that's when I noticed
Yeah,
it last year.
we weren't hyped on John Wick.
Yeah,
Really, I mean, I wasn't even until I saw the fourth.
you and
one
me
because-
weren't. Yeah, we were like,
Yeah,
oh,
and then
well,
Sulper and poor things we didn't know about. Oppenheimer, we'd only seen like a teaser, I think, so we were not hyped on it.
That was
yet,
just the
so-
black and white of like, what did you do to the world? You gave
Yeah.
them the power, and then Bo's Afraid because the Ari Aster A24 hype.
Of course, yeah.
And Guardians because it's Guardians. But I think that's a legit thing that in all the years we've done the 5 most anticipated, we've never had more than 2 make it to the best
Wow,
picture.
Okay.
And like right
Wow.
now we have like
What were the
Lord of the
other ones
Rings,
this
Alien, Joker, Deadpool, Wolverine, and Dune. And I feel like that could happen again because like Lord of the Rings could be great, but like I don't know if it'd be that good. Alien Romulus, that could stink. Joker, I think that is like I don't know what Joker, and even Deadpool, Wolverine, we could end up really enjoying it, but if it's not as like good
Yeah,
as
we all love
something-
Guardians, but it didn't.
right?
make
I would
it.
have thought Guardians for sure was on here. Like I think Dune is probably gonna make it. If it doesn't, then we have a fucking great year ahead of
That
us.
would be
But
a shock, yeah.
yeah, but I think we have. I think it could happen again where it's only 2. So it's an interesting stat that we
Very exciting.
pick. I think because the most anticipated we go with our heart, and then at the end of the year we see like okay, there's stuff like Saltburn where it came out, and we're like oh, this is quite good. And we had no.
Yeah. I want to go back and do those stats though. I really want to see some of those earlier years, the anticipated versus the next year's best films. That's I'm gonna do that at some point. It's a fun little.
Yeah,
fun
it
little
was my
map.
plan. I usually have some stats. Was my plan, but the girls
You got a
were
new
s-
mic over there. It actually
No.
sounds good enough.
Sounds like
but-
he inhaled a helium balloon or something.
Shut up. Shut up.
There
That
you go.
was my plan. I usually try to do it every year, have some stats, but
Wait, is that the right mic? Now you sound even further away.
Sounds worse.
what? Oh,
How many
no, I'm
mics
on
do
the
you have plugged into your
camera.
goddamn computer here?
Okay, how about this now?
There we go. There,
There
it
we
is.
go. Yeah, was my plan. Girls
There
were home
he
with me
is.
all week, so it didn't happen. But yeah, we'll see what happens next year. Big thank you to everyone that voted. We appreciate it because it's more fun to have the body around and stuff. We can, we used to do it that way, but I love. And it also gives me some excitement because I don't know. I get to pull up the Google Drive every day, see some new responses, and like, oh my god, like I said, there was like a solid week where Saltburn was winning. I was like, Jesus Christ, it's gonna happen. Taylor's gonna flip. he's gonna quit the podcast. But thank you to everyone that voted. Thank you to you guys for doing this as always. We'll be back next year for the 9th annual. Like I said, somewhere in the summer when we got a lull, we will do the DCU send off, rest in peace category, and there may be another one coming up. So maybe stay tuned. You never know what might happen. And until then, promise you, it'll not be boring.